Michigan, undefeated. And really the same question goes now with Oklahoma. But this is kind of me having it both ways, because on our group chat earlier today, Bryce asked a good question. Do we really know who Michigan is? I would pose this. If a zoo visitor falls into a bear exhibit and gets mauled, and then it happens again, and then it happens the third week in a row, like, we can't really question, is the bear really a bear? It's blood and guts everywhere, but he hasn't seen another bear yet. Tell these people to stay out of the bear exhibit. Hack, am I right? Is the bear still a bear? Yeah. It's just okay.
Yeah, it just ain't been in the wild yet, having to scratch and claw for its food. It's getting fed.
Correct. And it's ugly. Yeah. So they are now 3-0. Bryce, have you had a chance to really get a look at Michigan? McCarthy's in there. They haven't been pressed. They haven't been in long drives. They haven't had to come back from anything. But have you seen enough consistency from the three phases to really merit them being top five?
Yeah, I haven't, but I mean, shoot, dude, we were in the same situation when I was playing at Baylor. I mean, look, we played Helen Keller State, and everybody was like, man, they're not playing anybody. But the thing was, we were putting up 70, and we held them to a field goal. That's it, so.
Yeah, I was Helen Keller State in pregame.
Yeah, they didn't talk much or see. So, but the idea was that, look, it doesn't really matter who you play, because, again, and we've talked about it even on this podcast, the fact that, like, you still have a top 25 team in Arkansas that's playing with Missouri State, right? And you have App State coming into College Station and beating them. So the idea of that was interesting. I just kind of wanted to hear you guys' thoughts, because that's what we heard all the time. Now, a lot of times, I'll have to go back on this, because I don't know our schedules, but I don't know how many of them were 1-9 combined, right? The three teams that Michigan have played have been 1-9.
So, interesting.
I don't know. I'll have to go back, and I'll have to get Trevor to go look in the archives there when I was playing on what ours, ended up being. But at the end of the day, they're going to have some juggernauts. And my thing with what Harbaugh is doing, if I can add this, and maybe Hack, I'd love to, I know you watch them way more than I do, but what he's doing, and actually we even talked about this pre-show too, but what he's doing with McNamara and McCarthy, and McCarthy went down today, but when you do get in a dogfight, if you don't know that the guy that is coaching your team, if you don't know that he believes in you and you get in a dogfight, are you going to run back to him, or are you just going to be like, F it, stiff arm me, I'm going to go do this myself? Does that question make sense to you? Like, what do you think is in, because he had an interesting quote today at the presser, because he finally actually talked about, what Harbaugh is doing and the way that he actually feels about it. It's going to be interesting to me when they're not playing, pancake schools, that, when they do get in a dogfight, what McNamara is going to do.
Hack?
You mean McCarthy?
No, I mean McNamara. Like, if you're that guy, we talked about it.
But I mean, you led the McNamara got banged up today. McCarthy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
If I switched them up.
But I know what you're saying, right? Like, I think with you and I talked about this as well. Like, we've never seen this before. I challenge anybody, any listener, anyone, to bring up the last time a guy won his conference, beat its rival that they haven't beaten in 10 years, and got a college football playoff berth, and then was fighting for his job heading into the next year.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of different conversations. I'd love to have a beer with anybody who wants to have a conversation about it. There's a whole bunch of different variables that go into it, but I'm not going to go down that path. I think this Michigan team's really good. I think some of those decisions are going to play into when they do play those other Bears in the East that exist, how you react. And if that situation does come up, I will be sitting right there texting you, Bryce, figuring out exactly what's going on and how you see it and how we see it and evaluate it by body language, things like that, because it's a very unique situation that I don't think many people have put a thought into.
Let me, sorry.
Go ahead, Trevor. Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah. No, I was just going to, I thought you were done with your point. I was just going to ask, like, do you think JJ McCarthy and that quarterback room is like cohesive? Like, do you think him and Cade McNamara are boys, or is it like, hey, walk in, it's pretty awkward every day. They have their spots across the table from each other. They're gonna help each other. Like I've been in QB rooms and locker rooms where it's very cohesive, and there's two guys that are playing high, and then I've been in locker rooms where it's like, hey, we don't like each other at all, but when called upon on Saturdays, we're gonna. Do you know? I mean, do these guys?
I don't know. I mean, they at least publicly, you know, it seems like they're close and cohesive. But again, I think you're throwing in another variable, and a variable that we haven't seen in the transfer portal. And like, I don't think JJ.
I can speak to it. They're close. They're close. They're supportive.
Yeah.
I talk to Cade fairly often. No, they do back each other. And when Cade was running the lion's share of the work last year, and JJ and Harbaugh told him, look, JJ is going to have a series or two. Cade would be there when he comes off the sideline. He's actually the first person JJ would talk to coming off the sideline. It does help. To Trevor, to your point, when these guys are kind of like riding with each other, like between the two of us, we got to get a win. And you didn't dial it like this, and I didn't design it like this, but we have to get a win together. And they have been winning.
What's going on, guys? Rob Doster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.